Radical muscle cars are nothing new to the Fast and Furious movies, but this 1973 Camaro is supposed to be one of the most radical of all. In the movie, this 73 Camaro F-Bomb is a twin-turbo, 1,500 horsepower car. V8 Monster, a car that actually exists in real life. For the movie, 6 F-Bomb replicas were built, but they're powered by a more sane 300 horsepower GM crate motor. 3 F-Bomb replicas survived.
Getting back to that kind of reliable, stoic Charger was very fun. It was like an old friend. It was like an old cast member that I had worked with a long time ago.
Chevy crate motor, 350, turbo 400 transmission, Willwood brakes. Inside, just the same kind of thing. You know, in Fast and Furious 1, the car had a very late 70s, early 80s feel to it. With this one here, we try to at least, bring it up into the, the current time frame here of hot rodding.
When they told me I was going to be driving a 72 Gran Torino GT, I was like, all right, this is something that you haven't seen in any other Fast and Furious movies.
When you see the thing roll up, hey, he's a bad guy.
Just the shape, the slope of the car, it's perfect.
Bright green, green is for the money.
We ended up building, I think, 9 of these vehicles. Fortunately for the Torinos, this is the only one that's left.
BMW M5. Only it's not a real M5. Instead, the production used 540i's with a 6-speed transmission.
Let's go!
Carbon fiber roof and hood are not real, just movie magic.
Right turn ahead.
Mitsubishi's Lancer Evolution 9 is among the world's most capable and quickest cars, with turbocharged power and all-wheel drive. But all-wheel drive is terrible for drifting. So for Tokyo Drift, the front wheels on the 10 Japanese market Evos donated to the production by Mitsubishi were disconnected from the drivetrain. That's right, this Evo is a rear-wheel driver. 19-inch raised wheels and Toyo tires, 6.6 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour, and consume the quarter mile in 14.5 seconds. Inside are Recaro front seats, autometer gauges, a Sparco quick disconnect steering wheel, and a custom roll cage. It's not built for comfort, it's built for drama.
The GNX 80s Buick. For this film, it was spectacular.
Definitely a beast. I remember while I was bouncing in New York, it was the fastest car on the market. And the car was beating everybody on the West Side Highway.
3.8, heavily modified turbo 200 transmission in it. It has a roll cage, it has a shifter, the brake bias valve, it has the slide brake, the Baird seats. We put a Hotchkiss suspension in it.
I just really appreciate the design, and with this movie, the GNX, I fell in love with, you know. I just thought that would be the cool car.
This is Vin Diesel's car. If you remember in Fast and Furious 1, for those of you that stayed through the credits,
1970 Chevelle SS 454. Primer gray version of the same car, and that one was specially built for this wheel stand seat. GM 502 big block under the hood ensures the car looks fast even on screen.
Chevelle SS, out of control.
Production built 11 copies of them. Like many cars in the film, most of DK's Z cars were bought as used cars in Japan and shipped over to California for modification. But while all 11 got Veilside body kits and 19-inch wheels, only 2 had the APS twin turbocharger system added to their 3.5-liter V6s. It's one tough call, so the stunt team had to work extra hard to destroy so many of them. Throw in some tweaks to the exhaust system, and this power plant is producing around 475 horsepower at the crank. All that horsepower is channeled through the stock 6-speed manual transmission and a Nismo limited slip differential that will keep this car drifting all day. 60 miles per hour in 5.7 seconds and devour the quarter mile in 13.2 seconds at 114.8 miles per hour. Those numbers would be a lot better if this beaten-up car had been built to launch instead of drift. Movie Story has a Nissan Skyline turbocharged 6 transplanted into the Mustang. The stunt cars actually relied on 430 cubic inch Ford V8s to churn a 4-speed manual transmission and Volk Racing 19-inch wheels inside Toyo tires. With about 500 horsepower aboard, there's plenty of power, but this chassis has been tuned to drift, not accelerate. Something weird about seeing a Mustang launch and not hearing the roar of a V8 along with it. But this car works surprisingly well. Converted to a single turbo system, the Nissan engine makes approximately 370 horsepower, and along with its accompanying 5-speed manual transmission, it propelled this pony to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds and through the quarter mile in 13.4 seconds.
Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 7. Supercar with 4 doors. It's single turbo, 280 horsepower, all-wheel drive, Brembo brakes, big wheels from the manufacturer, sticky tires, Recaro race interior. You get in that car and it's awe-inspiring, to say the least.
Built by Veilside to show off its Fortune wide-body kit, it proved to be an exquisite assembly of fine detail. This car wears huge and heavy 305mm wide rear tires. So, in order to drift well, much of the tread back there needed to be shaved off. This one has the extensively modified rotary engine, including an HKS single turbo system and a special titanium rear muffler. The result is something around 300 horsepower. And accelerating was a relatively modest 5.9 second 0 to 60 time and a 14.1 second quarter mile time at 104 miles per hour. '71 Monte Carlos are big cars. 509 cubic inches of big block V8. 560 horsepower is enough to launch this behemoth to 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds and through the quarter mile in about 12 seconds. Inspired by the NASCAR Monte Carlos and raw-edge street machines of the early 70s, there's nothing subtle, pleasant, or welcoming about this interior. But the roll cage is beautifully crafted and the metal fabrication excellent. There's nothing subtle about a 4-speed transmission or 488 gears in a spool rear end either. This is quite likely the quickest streetable car ever built for a motion picture.
The new Subaru WRX STI. It's their best STI yet. It's killing everything right now.
Stuff the biggest wheel and tire and everything that I can. The roof scoop is aftermarket by Veilside, as well as the hood, the front bumper. Inside, Sweeney and his guys did the roll cage, Veilside seats, a Veilside steering wheel. We pretty much stripped out anything that wasn't needed, carpet, back seat, a Remus exhaust system on it. These cars were probably the easiest cars overall to deal with. You never had to worry about the Subaru starting, the Subaru running, the Subaru having a mechanical problem. Probably the only cars out there that had functioning AC.
But guys that really know cars know that Subaru STI would kill just about any one of the muscle cars we have in this movie. I mean, that's the simple truth.